Hi guys, this is Doc Kumalo. Welcome to Post Sports Session. And today my counterpart Eddie is not around. I'm not too sure whether Eddie knows that we're recording today or what he's all about, because I think he's done with persuading people to go vaccinate. Okokai Eddie, where are you, boss? Because you're missing out. Today's session is very special because I'm welcoming Toni Gaddie, our clinical sports psychologist, who's actually specializing in champions. Where now you always tell me you're a champion, but you don't even know what's a champion. But tonight or today, I have Toni in the studio who's going to be explaining to us what is a champion, what makes a champion, how do you become a champion, and why do you have to be a champion? Toni, how are you doing?
Good, thank you for having me, Dr.
Thank you for honoring our invite, and it's very rare that we get personnel like you to talk about something that is very, very, very much important. And the reason why I'm saying it's important because I've experienced it in the US, and in South Africa, it's something that we don't take it seriously, or we don't influence our sports personnel to go through that session for them to be able to perform. Because one coach told me that you can have a better technique, understand tactical way of doing things on the field, but if mentally you're not 100% sound, you cannot execute. Was he correct by saying that? And if, before you could answer it, if you could probably explain to me, because I was told that I'm a champion, but till today I don't know what is a champion, but I know I'm a champion. Even my friends in the township, hey, I'm a champion. What is a champion actually? Or what makes a champion?
Yeah. Well, you know, Doctor, already just by looking at you and when I arrived, I can see you're a champion. I can. Because I can see that you are constantly growing.
Yes, thank you.
You're constantly striving.
Thank you.
You even bring your son along. I hope I'm allowed to say that. I think that's amazing already.
No, thank you.
Because just by him seeing you and the way you conduct your life, you're modeling to him, you're mentoring him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me, when my dream was to win Wimbledon and I didn't win it, I failed.
Wimbledon?
Yeah. At that time...
let me take a sip. I didn't hear that. Did you say Wimbledon?
So that was my dream, right?
To win Wimbledon? Wow.
But to have that dream and to win it is another story.
Oh, why so?
So in those days, my idea of a champion was to win this big trophy and hold up this big trophy. Yeah. And my whole life was focused around winning this trophy without addressing other areas of my life. And then if that trophy is not held up, if you don't win it, then you are in trouble, because when your whole life is only tennis and you haven't addressed weaknesses in other areas of life, then you're going to be in trouble when your sports dream is not fulfilled. So I've learned over my many years of studying champions that a champion is someone who not only looks at their strengths and focuses on their strengths and what they're good at, like on the soccer field, on the tennis court, but they're looking at their weaknesses on the sports field as well as outside. And they're constantly looking at where can I grow? How can I expand as a human being? So that everything is addressed.
Of course.
My family, my work, if I get injured. So that when I'm on the field, I can be totally on the field 100% with mind and body, because I know that I'm in the process of taking care of other vulnerabilities, other weaknesses that I haven't worked on in the past. That I didn't know how to work on. I just thought I had to play soccer, I had to play tennis, I had to focus on my sport, because that's what I thought would make my dreams come true. But they can only make your dreams come true for very few athletes. And sport is short.
It is. Definitely it is. Because it's it's a career that it's not guaranteed. Anything can happen. Like you allude to the fact that you can get injured. Probably by taking in a shower, you can get injured.
Yeah.
Walking to a bus stop or whatever, you can get injured. But I'm not gonna now waste time because you've just pointed out an important situation here. When I was playing, and if I look at the current players, that's soccer, we're looking at our strengths. What makes us? What do we have as individuals in terms of this is me today, the future doesn't exist. The only thing that is existing is the present moment, whatever is happening now. And this is exactly what is crippling our game, our sports, our individuals. Wow. So you're saying the weaknesses makes a champion.
You're right. I'm saying owning and working on your weaknesses makes a champion.
Working on your weaknesses.
And owning it, looking at it, and being honest and saying, I need help.
You
with
need
this.
help, yes. Here's an individual growing up in a humble beginnings, rural area. He signs a 4 or 5 year contract. He's been given 12 million. First time he sees such numbers. And this is exactly what is happening. Now, this money, is it going to influence performance without looking at the weaknesses that tomorrow I might not have this? Is this what we all about in today's game?
So
have you sorry to cut you, Toni?
No, go ahead.
I just want to know, have you ever dealt or be in consultant with a soccer player that is playing in the PSL at the moment, or a teams have ever approached you to talk to the players? Because I've done it in the US. So in the US, they will tell you that for 2 months, a month, you have to consult twice in order for you to be able to deal with the weaknesses and all that.
Yeah.
Is this what is happening in South African sporting code? Or?
I'm just so glad you're sharing that, because it is so well known, and I'd love our South African sports community to understand that overseas it's a prerequisite.
Yes.
I have 2 guys at the top of my head, and at least you'll see that I follow soccer: Harry Kane and Mohamed Salah. In fact, I know Mohamed Salah's psychologist. We've chatted.
Is it?
And but
as in Salah Liverpool.
Yes.
The current player.
The current player. Yes.
He's
absolutely.
consulting a psychologist.
100%. Yes. And in fact, he tells everybody that, so it's not confidential. That's why I can share it with you.
Yes.
I think he's proud, Mohamed Salah, that he's got a psychologist. And what's important here is I'm trying to show that it's a norm there.
Yes, it is a norm. Yeah.
You've experienced
I've experienced it, yes.
And for me, what I've done is I have consulted with 2 teams, and it's so interesting because the top of the teams who are open-minded, who have traveled, see how important it is, how their players need the support. And we've always had meetings up until a point. And then when it comes to the crunch, when the guys the players need to own and say, I need help, I need the support, no one comes to the table because they think that it's weak. They think that it's not normal. They think that consulting a psychologist is something that is not done.
Yes.
But in fact, it is the greatest do that because they know that then on the field, they can just be 100% on the field because they've taken care of any other worries, any other issues, anxiety, depression, struggles with anything that they have in life can be dealt with off the field. And then on the field, they can just be the player that they want to be.
They want to be, yeah.
So yes, I have. And it's a pity that it's slowly changing. But I found that it's not as open and normal as it really needs to be.
To be, yeah? Because looking at some of the individuals within the PSL and lower divisions, the youngsters, even senior players, they really, really, really need to consult. But to be honest and precise, that's something that is not in their agenda. And they strongly believe that the God-given talent will do the job or do whatever it has to be done on the field. Would you agree with me to say that you might possess skill, but if mentally you're not sound, you can't perform? So would psychologists play a major role in terms of consulting with the players just to give them an advice? How is it important, or how do you do it when an individual is facing a problem of, I'm not racist, but most players, the association, the people they hang out with, they are not sports personnel, but they're something else different. So that individual is lost. So the people that he hangs out with are not the right or the correct personnel for that player to be with. And it's not about money, but it's just that with these guys, he goes partying, women, squander money, and then when he goes to training, the body is giving up. How do we help such?
So that is all because there isn't exposure and understanding and work on how to be a professional long-term off the field.
Off the field.
If there's conversations around what it means to be a great player, when you, in order to perform at your peak, in order to express your skill consistently with pressures, with sponsors, with your family expecting you to win, with your friends expecting you to win, that kind of pressure over a long time will eventually inhibit your skill, will eventually harm your skill. You need to be able to have that taken care of by knowing that off the field, you've worked on what it means to be a professional. And that means that you need to be healthy. You need to be eating right. You need to be drinking right. You need to be sleeping right. You need to be training consistently. And I think what's so important for the great players to understand who know that they're so talented is that great players need to be great off the field too, because that is what allows them to be great consistently. So I haven't explained this so well. What I'm trying to say is it's more important for the players to understand off the field is what counts. Then their skill will come to the fore. So if you're hanging around with the guys who don't understand sport, they're going to expect you to drink. They're going to expect you to go out late. They don't understand that your skill is going to be compromised if you've had too much to drink, if you haven't slept, if you are not focused on the game, on the strategy, on what team you're playing, what the patterns are, what your coach has spoken about. Everything is about preparation.
Yes, definitely.
And when you have worked on the preparation with your mentor, with your psychologist, with your coach, then you can go out for dinner, have a nice dinner with your mates, early dinner, and you need to say enough because you've got something big to do the next day.
Yes, definitely.
I think, Doc Kumala, the important word here is for them to be able to say no. And to say, in order for me to be a great soccer player, I can't only be great on the field. In fact, I won't be great on the field if I don't take care of everything off the field.
Yes.
All my preparation. Did I explain that correctly?
No, definitely, 100%. Because what you've just said, spot on. When I signed at the age of 17 for Kaizer Chiefs senior team from the academy, went back to the township in Soweto, that's where I grew up. And there was that few, or probably a group of individuals that were like, he's so skinny, he won't make it. And I'm young, signing a contract with a big team.
Yeah.
Expectations are high. You can imagine what went through my mind. I was gone. I'm coming from a family that needed my strength, my help, my everything, because they were very strict. But then, 2 weeks after I've played my first game, my mom called me to the lounge. She said, listen, unfortunately, I'm going to tell you this is bad news for you. All these guys that you hang up with, they are history. So you're going to hang up with guys who are playing the game. Hence, I was friends with Tebogo Mloyi, who was playing for Orlando Pirates. We made our debut the very same day at Ellis Park Stadium.
Oh, wow.
Till today, we're friends.
Oh, fantastic.
So what you are saying is very true, but I didn't know. I didn't understand. So it's very important for youngsters, because they say listening is a skill. Do not think that the person that talks to you, because he's not a biological father, mother, and you disrespect the advice. Respect any individual that gives you a better way of living. That's what made me.
Brilliantly
because
said.
I didn't want only my parents to be the ones that are saying to me, don't do that, do this. The chairman himself, he said to me, give me 10 years of your life for you to build a brand. How do I do that? All the things we've just mentioned, I had to waive them in order for me to focus on building the brand. But today's youngsters, without being negative or sounding negative, but this is their reality. We have to say it the way it is in order for them to build brands. Because remember, you said this career is short. What happens after? Mm-hmm. So after, Doctor is still alive because he built the brand while he was still active. Right. In Belgium, as we speak, whenever there's a call-up for national team, all the players, they attend a coaching session within the camp of the national team. So they're securing them for the future. So is this something that players should look at, or any other avenues for them while they're still active to prepare? Is this how you guys prepare them, the players, as psychologists?
What are you saying to me?
In terms of they are active now, these youngsters. You can say to them, no, don't do that, don't do this. No, it's not. How do you guys then get the best out of them in order for them to prepare for the future?
So exactly, they need to, like you said, they need to be open to other people, not only their biological mother and father, and hopefully they absolutely respect that. Look what your mother did for you.
Yes.
You listened to her and she made you, in a sense. If you didn't, you don't know what could have happened otherwise. So it's really about, like you say, investing from a psychological point of view. So if clubs, if players could get exposed to courses, consultations of what it means to prepare for a match, what it means to be a champion, what it means to be professional, and what it means to, like you said, there was so much pressure on you.
On me, yes.
And so what I've found is when these players understand they must not put all their eggs in one basket.
Okay.
They must look at still their education.
Yes.
They must look at other avenues of building their brand in case they get injured, in case they don't get selected.
Yes.
And so they constantly becoming a champion. They are working on every aspect of self. And then they have less pressure when they're on the field.
Okay.
Because they know that, I've got a YouTube channel, I'm studying IT, or I'm studying sound engineering, or whatever it is.
Yes.
So they've got other interests, they're bigger people, and they're open to learn. So they're open to learn from mentors, from psychologists, from coaches who are who they can feel want the best for them, who they can feel want them to be future champions.
Yes.
And not just win for them right now.
Now.
Yeah, and that's so important is for them to understand now is so short-lived.
Oh, wow.
The money they make now is short-lived.
Thank you. It's your... Oh, Toni. Oh, I wish we could talk until 2029. But I must say, whatever you've said now, it makes sense. I've been through all what you've just said. And looking at the situation in South African football or soccer, is there any individual that you have worked with that you feel proud today to say that individual listened to me or my session worked? Or are there individuals or teams or clubs that you feel that maybe you might have worked with or you would like to work with, that you will make a difference in them? Is there such? Or
there's Dr. Kamala, there's absolutely both.
Both.
And there are meetings we've had which we are just about to expose these players to understand what it means to be a whole champion. I call it a whole champion.
No, definitely.
So it's a term that means you're not only a champion at sport. When you are a whole champion, you are a champion as a human being. You're a champion off the field. And that's what I want to encourage. That's what I want to invest in. So absolutely, with their clubs that we've started and we haven't continued because there isn't that openness. And wow, when people open their mind and when they trust, and they trust they can learn to be whole champions on and off the field, then the sky's the limit. The sky, it's not only the limit for expressing their full potential on the soccer field and doing great things for their team and their country, but also afterwards, inspiring children, inspiring other players, inspiring our country.
Okay. Wow, guys, I don't know how are we going to actually explain this or further discuss, but personally, I'm going to ask Toni one favor, and I hope and wish that it's going to be a positive response. This is now after my career. I'm sitting here with you. What you've just said, it's unbelievable. And I just want to carry on to become a champion after my playing career, playing days. Is it advisable for me to come and consult?
Absolutely. So it's so interesting.
It's not about being on the field. So now, here I am. I know about the game. I'm done. But I'm still involved probably in coaching. I have an academy that is existing. I still want to be a champion. Because a champion, you said, it's not about being on the field.
It's so funny you say this, Dr. Kamala, because I always have a joke. And my joke is that the people who come to my practice, the people come and consult, are the people who don't need it.
Seriously?
They're the people who are so open to looking at themselves, to growing themselves, seeing where can I improve, where can I improve. It's so interesting. You often see the people who are successful, they have broad success, long-term success, are the people who want to keep asking questions. How can I be better? How can I contribute more? How can I grow more? And so absolutely, you can, because we can't see ourselves.
Exactly.
We need someone else to come and share a different perspective. Because then we learn from that perspective. We keep chasing our own tail. We keep seeing our own thoughts, our own perceptions. And someone else says something different to us, and then we think, wow, I don't agree with all of that, but I agree with some of that. And I'm going to take that on and I'm going to try it out.
Yes.
And I'm going to see if I can be different and take the risk. And then great things can happen.
Oh, wow. So I can come and consult.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's not only me, guys. Believe it or not, Toni here, she wants to show you, help you, be with you in designing your own path. So to all our viewers, you're more than welcome, but we'll share the details that Toni, how to get hold of her. Look, it's not about being a soccer player. It's not about being a tennis player. How you make a difference in your life. This is all about. Because remember, you might be a father figure out there and you're doing things wrong. You might be a coach somewhere and you're not doing things correctly. You might be encountering problems and you don't know how to solve them. Well, I have an answer for you. Toni is the answer. Thank you for watching. Cheers.